Alright, salutations, all you lovely Mischief Makers and others. I am your host here, Mr. Mischief, and today I will be playing some Blackout. Fun. I explained this trailer for this game a long time ago, and I wanted it to open in Webcam, and somebody ended up gifting it to me. So, I forgot what it was about by this point, but it does look interesting. Music's tight, and I like this little, like, broken glass with this eye that occasionally peers back at us, so sit back, relax. I hope you got your snacks, and let's dig in. You know, it said that this game is controller compatible, so I really hope that that is the case. Or that it's, point and click? I don't know. New vendors, 11:24 p.m. What's happening here? Somebody hurt, or... Alley. You're on a dark street in the middle of the night. You have an impression of wandering aimlessly, but can't remember how you got here, or remember what you were doing before that. There isn't a soul in sight. It seems you've blacked out. The street is poorly illuminated and littered with trash. As you hear a noise in the alley nearby, you realize that you're sure of only one thing. You've never been in this part of the city before, and you wish that was still the case. Okay, so we have three options here. Ignore and walk down the street, check the alley, or hide. I heard a noise in the alley nearby. Never been here. I'm gonna ignore it and walk down the street. You walk down the street, your steps echoing into the night. Some of the buildings are boarded up, and every door or window you see is shut. Half with chains and padlocks. Up ahead you see a bus stop, and across from the street there's a payphone. If you can get home and rest for a while, you might be able to remember what's going on, or at least understand what you were doing out here. Maybe you can find someone to help you. Check your wallet. You dig into your pocket for your wallet, hoping you have enough cash. As you open it, you see a picture of yourself on a hospital card. Randolph Carter Memorial Hospital. Richard Farben, MD. Whoa. Might be a bit of an epilepsy warning here. I do not like the way that that stuff started doing colorful vibrations or whatever. Oh, I have to actually assemble this? God dang it. Alright, so looks like I can't use my controller for this. Ooh, it's been a while since I did a puzzle. Oh boy. Okay, so we need the one that has the corner like this. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Maybe it's this. No, because there's a piece of this. What is this? The card? A piece of the card, yeah. Okay, there we go. I don't know how exact I have to be with placing these. Wallet. It's missing something. Part of a hand. Part of a hand. Oh, I can't move that one. Oh, I should have probably started to build off of there. I'm stupid. Okay, hold on. Let's just rearrange. I might speed this up just so that y'all don't have to suffer. Okay, so oh, it takes the whole thing apart. Dang. Alright, so what the hell attaches to that? Okay, this is slanted this way. Ah! That hurt my ears. Top of the... Oh, that's the bottom of the hand. Okay. What's the other lower part of his hand? What is this? Okay, alright, that wasn't too bad. Had to get back into like the feel of it. Press space or click to advance through flashback. Yeah, that's what was written on the note we read about this. You're standing before a door of wavy glass, hands shaking, sweating. Staring at your feet, you try to muster up your courage. This is something you've never done before. You raise your head. The writing on the door says, William Colson, M.D. You knock 3 times. Come inside, a voice calls. You reach out and feel the doorknob, cold as ice, the chill rapidly spreading up your arm. Oh, Richard, it's you. Come inside, have a seat. You approach his desk and take said seat. So, how is she? He asked. You're her doctor. You know better than I do, you reply. That's not what I meant, Richard. I'm sorry, she's fine. I mean, as fine as can be. She almost seems resigned. It is a tough fight, but it can be. You don't need to give me this crap, Will. I know what the chances are. He stares at you for a moment. You've known each other for years. Does he have any idea what's going on inside your mind right now? Would he understand? And how about you? How are you holding up, Richard? He does. You can see it in his expression. Then why is it so difficult to ask? Yeah, about that. You take an envelope from your pocket and hand it to him. He takes it, opens it without looking at you. Who are these for? He asks after reading the paper. After a few moments of hesitation, you reply, For me. Good God, Richard. He shakes his head. You know this is against... Yes, I know. It's against the regulations. That's why I'm asking you, a friend. He lowers his head, rubs his eyes. After some quick contemplation, he takes a pen and signs the prescription. You take it back and start walking toward the door. You don't have to go down this road, you know. You stop to answer, but don't look back. Thank you, my friend. +1 courage? I don't like where this is heading already. It's a weird feeling, learning something that you already do once, but have somehow forgotten. The reality of you being a doctor seems very distant now. That basic fact of your day-to-day life, nothing more than a hazy dream. And that weird talk with Will, you can't quite recall the context, the who or what you were talking about. It's all very fuzzy. Despite not being a neurologist, you're aware that confusion and amnesia are both symptoms commonly associated with a concussion. So that's the most plausible explanation you have at the moment. You're not feeling any pain in your head right now, but you've heard of cases like this before. It might be a good idea to head to the hospital before you go home, so you can have a few exams performed and make sure everything is alright. That as you are, going home and getting some sleep could lead to serious trouble if you actually do have a concussion. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm fucking so yawny. Wait for the bus, call a cab, or keep walking. I guess we'll wait for the bus? You wait at the bus stop for half an hour, until sitting on the terribly uncomfortable bench becomes unbearable and basically forces you to get up. They make these things uncomfortable so the homeless people don't sleep on them, but they do anyway, and it clearly failed to have it serve its primary purpose as a thing you can actually sit and wait on. Failures all around. After 10 minutes of standing, you're ready to give up and start walking, but a bus makes an appearance down the street a few blocks away. As it slowly, almost sluggishly gets closer, you're able to read the display. Downtown. It's probably heading to the central station. Your house isn't far from there, and you probably don't have a better option. Might as well take this one. Give up and get a cab, get on the bus, or keep walking down the street. Why do you just say this one was locked for a second? I'm just gonna get on the bus, I guess. Alley, visited passages 4, fitness 6, sanity 6, courage 5. Next bus. Location icon to continue. New vendor. You hop on the bus and greet the driver. $1.50, he says in a tired, automatic tone. The little fella's not in the best of mood. You quickly slip the fare into the coin box slot and look for a place to sit. The only passenger besides yourself at this hour are an old lady and a skinny guy who looks awfully shady, to put it bluntly. His clothes are incredibly baggy, at least 3 times the size, and he's sleeping with his head resting against the window. I'm gonna sit away from them both. You sit away from both as social protocol dictates and enjoy a quiet bus ride through the dead streets of this neighborhood on the edge of town. Soon you reach the conclusion that you don't particularly care if you never see this place again, yet you do feel curious about whatever it was you were doing tonight. Is it possible that someone drugged and dumped you there? Pretty unlikely since you have all your belongings with you. What about that prescription you requested from Will? He seemed pretty worried about it, you recall. If only you could remember what it was for. As the bus approaches downtown, you notice the streets getting wider. Suddenly, the city feels alive again. Drunk people on the streets, cars blasting loud music, neon lights and barely dressed women, all inviting you over for a night full of pleasures for an appropriate price, of course. It's a little strange to admit, but everything that usually annoys you about the city feels very comforting right now. All of it is somehow reassuring, as if you were stepping out of a nightmare and back into the waking world. Up ahead, you spot a huge modern building that dominates an entire block. 5 stories high and topped with a heliport. There's no mistaking it. That's Randolph Carter Memorial, your place of work for the past 10 years. The hospital is covered in glass, resembling nothing less than a Titanic mirror during the day. At night, the reflection of every little light that can possibly catch upon its exterior makes it a bright spot in the heart of the city. As you watch the city lights reflect upon the building's facade, you feel something stabbing through your subconscious mind into the forefront of your thought. Another shard, another piece of memory trying to break through. Oh lord, not another puzzle. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting puzzles like this. Okay, so it looks like this is someone's hand again that we're centered on. We have some fingers, so I'm gonna assume that that goes here, even though it's missing the rest of the hand. Oh wait, that might be too close actually. Um, here we go. The literal werewolf. Well, this is certainly much more complex than the other one was. Alright, where's the center? This looks like... No, it's not that. Okay, so we got that. That put together. That kind of looked right for a second. No, it's too skinny. Okay. We need a triangular, like, shard. Okay, there we go. Another. No. No. I don't have the best eyes for doing this, to be fair. What didn't I try yet? Yeah, there's no way. Micro triangle. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna switch to trying this. That's not quite right. No, that's not quite right either. There we go. Okay. Okay, so a sleeve. We need a piece that has a sleeve, but these are so small that it's kind of hard to tell what's a sleeve. A sleeve, a sleeve, a sleeve. No, I already tried that. I think that's a piece of a window. Oh, I think... Okay, okay. That makes it much easier. Alright, so, point, a point, a downward sloped point. No, that's not. Downward sloped point. No, no, no. Triangular, downward sloped point. This? Great. Ugh. The rest of this shape is very vague. Alright, so I'll try and find the piece that has the tip of his thumb. Tip of the thumb, tip of the thumb. Tip of the thumb on the left-hand side. Oh, okay. This. Alright, so it should be way easier now from that. Because we have all of this to build off of now. Okay, a claw, I think. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. We're getting there, we're getting there. I can't move that piece either. Okay. Yes. And where's the rest of his hand? Fantastic. He's missing his fingers. Fingers, fingers, fingers. I think these are the fingers. No. Okay, I kind of guessed what that one, because I couldn't really see too well. An umbrella. Umbrella. Okay, okay, okay. We're doing good, we're doing good. No, that looks like it goes, maybe somewhere over there, actually. Okay, focus. Okay, so this is... They really didn't need to make this portion as broken up as it is. I feel like they did that just to waste time, to be honest. My eye. Okay, whatever. Okay, so part of his face. What has part of his face? No. That's not right. No. It's like a normal. Just looks like a normal freaking. I'll focus on this. That looks kind of like this, but it's not. Oh, it was that. Okay. So then. This. This is going upwards. I would assume that this goes. Yes. This goes here. Oh, okay. This goes here. Or not. Damn it. Let's just match up to here. Here. And here. My god. Okay. I apologize. That probably took forever. You're walking out of the hospital. The rain is coming down hard, a deluge from the dark. You stand, soaked to the bone, trying to wave down a cab. The first three that pass by are busy. The fourth doesn't see you at all. Eventually, a black car stops right in front of you, lowers the window. You see the driver, a bald guy wearing a suit, skin pale as the moon. Need a cab? He points to the rear window. Taxi by night, premium service, romantic tours, city tours, all-night events. There's no immediate alternative. You enter the cab. Where to? Yeah. You call me home address and you start driving. Doesn't take long before you're stuck in traffic. It's always the same when it rains. You complain. Some people just can't handle driving through a little water. You agree with them, not in the mood for conversation. You're tired. You just want to get home and get some sleep. You've been awake for more than 35 hours and Lisa couldn't sleep because of her medication. You wanted to keep her company. Constant patter of the rain against the window and it's rumbling when the car's engine gets you feeling drowsy. Soon, you lay your head against the window and fall asleep. You're woken by a loud bang on the glass very close to your head. You look through the window to see a wolf-like creature with huge claws and teeth scratching and snarling at the window. You fall back across the rear seat, startled and disoriented. Damn it! Driver carefully opens the window. You should stay away from the cars and go back to trick-or-treating. What did you say? Will you kiss your mother with that mouth? Alright. Out of the street now, come on. You hear some youthful laughter as the werewolf retreats, and two new figures make themselves known from behind a parked car. The half-disintegrated remnants of what was once a toilet paper mummy and a pointy-headed wizard in a bathrobe is speeding down the sidewalk alongside the wolf, now clearly just a boy in a wolfman costume. Mummy and werewolf run down the street yelling, "Come on, Logan!" at the wizard, who has fallen behind after dropping his big hat. Can't help but feel embarrassed. That returns back to kids these days. Says, shaking his head. Sorry they ruined your nap. Only now do you notice that he's dressed up too. A cape is draped over his shoulders, and his collar is just makeup. He doesn't have Dracula's literal feet, but it's easy enough to tell that he's supposed to be a vampire. The fake fangs you just noticed as he talks and senses it. I forgot it was Halloween. Time goes by so fast, it's hard to believe almost 7 months have passed since Lisa was admitted to the hospital. Working too much, eh? Problem? He asked in a friendly tone. The car is moving again, and instead of moving is evident. Yeah, I suppose. You avoid going into too much detail. I know a good place to go relax. We'll take you there if you like. I appreciate the offer, but maybe another time. A few minutes worth of small talk later, he stops in front of your building. As you pay him, he thanks you and hands you a card. You need a cab at odd hours. I cover most of the town. Oh, and hey, maybe here's a notepad and pen and scribble something on his sheet. Here's the address of the place I told you about. Good place to forget your problems, or to get rid of them. He smiles wide, flashing his classy saying, "Thank you. Have a good night now." You too, Mr. Farbin. Richard Farbin. Beautiful night, Mr. Farbin. Lisa, is she okay? You absolutely must see her. Your heart urges you to go now, but your brain interjects that it might be better to stop at home first. One way or another, this can't wait until tomorrow. You need to go and see her tonight. Stop the bus, please, or do nothing. I mean, you probably need sleep. Do nothing. 10 minutes and 5 red lights later, you finally reach Central Station. It's an old building from the turn of the century, at least on the outside. It used to be a train station back when it was built, but a few years ago it was rebuilt to serve as a public transportation hub. Subway, train, bus, all of them can be accessed from Central Station. There are lots of people coming and going, even at this late hour. Although, taking into account that you'll probably need to wait about 5 minutes before the train arrives, it should take about the same amount of time as walking. The hospital is also just a few stops away, and there's a station right in front of it, but it would not be a bad idea to head home and take a quick shower before you show up there. You go down to the subway platform and wait for a couple of minutes until the train arrives. A few people exit the train car, but upon entering, you find yourself alone. You sit down, close your eyes, and relax a bit. Then it hits you. You don't know what day of the week it is. You just can't remember. If you could recall the last thing you did before the blackout, then you should be able to guess the day, unless the blackout lasted for more than a day. The thought of that scares you. Maybe finding out what day it is could give you some sort of a clue or help you remember something. As the train starts moving, you notice someone's left a newspaper on a seat nearby. I'm gonna take the newspaper. You take the newspaper and sit back down. The very first thing you do is look at the date in the upper corner, November 4th, 1993. Lisa, is she okay? You absolutely need to go see her. She's probably worried sick about you, and that's not good for her condition. It was Halloween 4 whole days ago. If this is today's paper, could your blackout have really been that long? You can't be sure until you remember something else. Maybe when you get home, you can find some other leads. Doorbell like chimes snap your attention back right before the conductor's voice announces your station is next. Take the newspaper and leave. As the train stops, you rise from your seat, step out onto the subway platform, and make your way up the desolate street. As you exit the subway and breathe in the cold night air, you get distracted for a moment and end up taking a wrong turn, finding yourself in a back alley. Back to the street. You turn around and leave the way you came, only to find a shadowy figure blocking the entrance of the alleyway. The lamppost on the street is behind him, so you can't make out his face, but dark or not, a ratness of long, messy hair atop an extremely oversized jacket are clear to see. A twitch of his hand reveals a blade of some sort. The practice with which he draws his weapon means that in all likelihood this man is a type of lowlife that mugs people for a living. Where do you think you're going, fancy pants? He asks in a hoarse voice, capping his question off with a bout of coughing. You smell the alcohol from where you stand. The bastard absolutely reeks of it. Just passing by. Excuse me. Give him your wallet. No, I'm just passing by. Of course you are. Why would a pretty boy like you be loitering around here? But see, this here is my home you've come stomping through. Can't have that, so you're gonna have to pay a toll. You think he started smiling? Makes it easier for you. Just pretend I'm a big, nasty troll. What starts as a castle turns into a coffin pit. Come on now, he wheezes out, haphazardly regaining his composure. Don't you know what happens to all them folks that don't pay a troll's toll? He brandishes his knife. Light from the lamppost behind him glints menacingly off the blade. Fine, we'll $5 it. He laughs out loud, a scratchy sounding bray that brings up a veritable slug of phlegm which he proceeds to spit onto the concrete. The man moves another step closer, pointing the blade in your direction. How about you give me your wallet instead? Here it is, now let me go. Takes your wallet and quickly rummages his throat before shouting, come on man, where's the money? Where's the fucking money? Over me, son, eh? What the fuck you still doing here? Fuck off before I cut you up. Better bet your ass I know a guy who'd pay for your organs. Ghostly bent down to pick up your wallet before hurriedly walking out of the alley. You can feel the mugger's eyes trained on your back as you go. When you reach the street and are out of his sight, you start heading home at a swift pace. Streets. A thin mist has begun to form in the street, deserted at this hour, billowing spectrally over the concrete. You're in front of your house, a 5-story brownstone building converted from a tenement near the end of the last century. The facade is punctuated by tall windows with rounded tops and a zigzagging black iron fire escape. As you approach the door, you reach for the key which should be in your pocket, but are unable to find it. Oh, damn it all. You probably lost it during your blackout. You can't help but feel stupid for not thinking to check your pockets earlier. You could possibly check the rooftop access to see if anyone's left it open, or try to buzz someone and get them to open the main door for you. Although you're not really acquainted with anyone besides Ted, your next door neighbor. Ring Ted's apartment. Ted's apartment is 301, right across from yours. You used the door phone to call him, but nobody answered. He's either sleeping deeply or isn't home. You try one more time just to be sure, but again you receive no answer. You don't know anyone else in the building. Beyond the occasional high, or in most extreme courses of forced conversation about the weather, you never really bother to strike up a conversation or get to know anybody. Although you're not a complete stranger either, you suppose it could still be worth a shot to try to convince someone else to buzz open the door for you. Your first two attempts are unsuccessful, but on the third try, someone finally answers. Hello, who is it? You hear an old lady's voice on the speaker. It's Mrs. Whately. You're not sure of her exact age, but you would guess she's in her mid-80s. She almost never leaves her apartment, but her face is frequently peeping through her window, watching as people come and go from the building. To your surprise, she doesn't sound sleepy at all. Good evening, Mrs. Whately. Is that you, Bobby? You know I can't hear very well. You need to speak louder on these things. Bobby is a younger relative of hers, her grandson, a great-grandson, you think, and he comes by fairly often to bring her groceries. Seems like a decent enough type, judging from the few times you've met. So, you know. Yes, it's me. Can you open the door? I forgot my keys. Of course. Would you be in there and check the mail on your way up? Thank you, sweet pea. She hangs up, and a moment later you hear a loud metallic buzzing. And a puncture that the heavy glass door is now unlocked. You wonder if it could be this easy to get inside any building, so much for a sense of safety. Open the door. You push the door and enter the small lobby. It's pleasantly warm inside, welcoming, especially with these late autumn nights starting to get genuinely cold. On your left, you have the stairs that lead to your apartment, while by the stairs is a door to the laundry room. To your right, there's a vending machine with soda, chocolate, and painkillers, which I've always found to be an interesting combination. Right beside the mailbox is for all the apartments. Check the mail, go upstairs, buy chocolate. Guess I'll at least check the mail, since she asked. Unfortunately, your box is locked and you don't have the key with you, but peeking closely inside, you can see something there, but it just seems to be advertisements. Go upstairs. You go up the stairs straight to the third floor. In times like these, you wish you lived in a house or in a building that had an elevator, but having to climb up and down 100 or so stairs every day is probably the best thing for your health since you don't probably exercise. You finally get to your door, number 302, a somewhat old and rough carpet with dog paw print patterns welcome you, even though you don't have a dog anymore. Lisa had a beautiful white terrier named Tuffy she had brought over from Scotland, but the poor girl died almost a year ago due to old age. After a few months of grieving, you and Lisa talked about getting a new dog, but then her illness made itself known and you never ended up getting one. You try to open the door but find it locked. No surprise there. Since you can't have anyone open this door for you, you either find a way to break in or head to the hospital to see if you left your key there. You haul yourself up 2 flights of stairs, hoping the rooftop access isn't locked. Thankfully, the wide red metal door at the top of the stairs is partially open. A brick placed on the ground preventing the door from fully closing, courtesy of a resident smoker, no doubt. While you can't in any way condone smoking as a medical professional, at the moment you're grateful some people still choose to do so. As you step onto the rooftop, you immediately feel a blast of cold wind in your face. You're surrounded by other buildings, some of them 2 or 3 stories taller than yours. The sky above has more clouds than stars, and the moon is nowhere to be seen. In the dark of the clouds above seem like some terrible living thing, an unimaginably enormous ball hovering over the city, its bulbous mass creeping slowly towards some unknown destination. Gazing up makes your heart skip a beat before you remind yourself that the wind is blowing hard and the clouds are moving with it. And that's that. Nothing supernaturally awful and impossibly huge is looming overhead. You bring your gaze back down to the rooftop and the task at hand, pushing the notion of repugnant floating giants to some dusty corner of your mind. You scurry over to the fire escape and start going down slowly, one step at a time, the metal creaking beneath your feet, until you get to your apartment window. It's locked, of course, but it might be easier to break than the door. Find something to break the window. First thing that comes to your mind is the brick holding up the roof door, but you don't want to replace it with something else if you don't want the door to lock closed. Trying to get the fucking brick. You head back to the roof access. The brick should be heavy and solid enough to break the window of ease, but you might want to leave something in its place just in case something goes wrong. You don't want to lose your only way inside. Replace the brick with the newspaper. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna work. Replace the brick with your shoe. I'm gonna go ahead and just replace the brick with the newspaper. You take the brick and place the folded newspaper in its place. It's just enough to keep the door from closing. Thank the Lord. Go back to the window. You go back to the window and she's taking a quick look around. That made me jump. Taking a quick look around to make sure nobody's watching. You check the brick at the window. It goes right through, shattering the glass into 1,000 pieces and landing inside your apartment with a muff of good. You try to avoid the sharp edges of the glass on the frame as you get inside, but you end up stepping on some of them. Looking all it does is make an uncomfortably loud, crunching sound. Your shoe sole is thick and hard, preventing the shards from piercing through. Thank goodness I did not leave my frickin' shoe. Reach out into the dark with your right hand and find the light switch. You find yourself in the living room and you can see that everything is as neat and organized as it always is, except for the glinting shards of glass and the brick that thankfully landed on the carpet. All the VHS tapes are thoroughly sorted, and so are the old video game cartridges that you haven't played in a long time. The kitchen is so clean that it seems like it's never been used. Although, upon closer inspection, the apartment in general could use a good dusting. A thin layer seems to coat every surface. The doors to your bedroom, home office, and to the bathroom are closed. A sadness permeates the air of your home. It feels empty, forgotten. Your heart feels heavy as you linger. Someone might have heard you breaking in. You should be quick. Go to the bedroom. You open the bedroom door and walk in slowly. As you cautiously reach for the light to switch up the room, you realize that there's no need to be so leery here in your own home. It was locked up tight after all. You let yourself collapse onto the bed. The linens are cold and soft, exuding a scent of roses, inviting you to close your eyes and relax for a while. Get up or close your eyes. I'm gonna say close my eyes. Your dry, weary eyes welcome the embrace of your eyelids like one with a warm blanket on a cold winter's eve. This night has been crazy and you still have no idea what is going on. You could really use some rest. Sleep on the issues and hope tomorrow everything will be easier. Maybe your memory will have returned by then. Maybe it won't. But does it even matter? You just feel so tired. But while your body and a good chunk of your brain are eager to rest, another part questions if that's not just your way of failing to deal with your problems, letting them pile up and push them ahead, hoping they'll fix themselves. You know that you inherited that from your father. He was the type that would avoid any problems and put off all confrontation for as long as he could. Things will work out, he used to say, and somehow it seemed like things always did end up working out for him. He was a savvy guy. You wanted to be just like him when you grew up. Then one day, he wasn't there anymore. Just up and vanished. Father is a coward, your mother told you when you asked where he had gone that morning. Her tone dripped with bitter venom, but her eyes seemed more sad than angry. He's not coming back. And he never did. He spent his whole life avoiding his problems, and when they piled up too high, towering over his life and threatening to crush him, he simply couldn't handle it anymore. Not knowing what to do about it all, not knowing how to deal with them, his only answer was to run away. Is that what you're doing now? Can you even think straight at this point? This could all just be exhaustion talking. Get up. But you can't, not right now. First you need to see Lisa at the hospital, make sure everything is okay. After that, perhaps you could try to find out more about the blackout. Over on the nightstand, there's a picture of her, one you had taken on your trip to Austria 2 years ago. She's on a bridge over the river Salzach, a spot where the water was unbelievably blue. Her eyes are closed, and she's trying to prevent the wind from messing up her hair, but she's still smiling, her sweet, familiar smile. Beside the portrait, you see a piece of paper with something written on it. .665 it reads, followed by an address. It's the paper the taxi driver gave you. Okay, so I hope that I didn't miss any other highlighted text because I only just realized to click on that one. They really gotta stop that. Shaking colorful stuff. Oh lord. At least this one's small. Okay, there's not so many small shards. So hopefully this will go faster. Okay, so it looks like some kind of vines or tentacles maybe. I'm not really sure. Okay, whatever. Yeah, there we go, there we go. There should be more tentacles. Yeah. Okay, this weird looking thing. There should be the corner of a tentacle somewhere. Corner tentacle, corner tentacle. If I were a corner tentacle, where would I tentacle? I suppose right here? Yep. Alright. I don't know what this is yet. So, what's something that looks like it would connect to that? This looks kind of wavy. That's weird. Um, kind of wavy. Kind of wavy. Kind of wavy. No? Okay. Alright, whatever. Can I find this? Like an L shape. No. Okay. This? Okay, very nice. Flat. Up this. Up again. This. This. Another one, which looks like... No. None of these look curved enough for that. So... Oh, there's a piece over here I can't move. I was not even paying attention to that, actually. So... Anything match up with this? Apparently. Yes, it does. Okay. So maybe, okay. That was such an obscure shape. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What happened? Java popped up for some reason. Okay, I guess I need to install a new version of Java or something to finish running this game. That's very weird. Anyway, I'll do whatever you want. The words flowed from your mouth automatically. The man seated across the table appears to be in his mid-50s. Pale stubble glints across his jaw, while a slanted fedora hides all but a few of the white strands off his head and simultaneously shrouds his eyes in shadow. You can feel his piercing gaze fixed on you, despite being unable to see those eyes. The gray suit he wears fits him like a glove, with nary a single crease. How far would you go, Richard? He asked, punctuating his question with a long sip of whiskey. I mean, how far would you really go? To save her. I would do anything. Your voice shakes. Your hands are cold and clammy. Would you kill? He asked, gently swirling his whiskey in its glass. How would you kill? Another long sip. To save her. You lower your head to rest in your hands, elbows on the table. Would you be willing? He continues. To do the opposite of what you do every day, to go against your long-held beliefs, your sworn oath as a physician, in order to save her. The words catch in your throat. They need to be willfully forced out. Yes, you answer loudly, your voice cracking. I will do anything. Marvelous, the man says, something resembling a smile spreading across his face. Because what I need you to do is far worse than killing someone. Yeesh, that's deep. Beside the portrait, you see a piece of paper with something written on it. Oh yeah, 0.65. Okay. Alright, and that is where we're gonna call part 1. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and please be sure to like the video and follow and check back for more. Until then.